Today we want to focus on factoring when a is greater than 1, and the a that I'm referring to is this a in front of my x squared term in my standard form of a quadratic, ax squared plus bx plus c. So I want to start the way that we did last time with a multiplying review. So if I want to multiply these two binomials together, and notice that I don't have just an x as my first term anymore. That second binomial has a 3x. So that's what's going to cause us to have something besides a 1 in front of our x squared. So let's go ahead and do this multiplication. You can use FOIL, you can call it double distribution, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to have 3x squared plus 4x plus 6x plus 8. And so simplifying, I'll have 3x squared plus 10x plus 8. If I look at the first term, this 3x squared, it's pretty easy to go backwards and see that that came from having an x and a 3x. Because the 3 is prime, that's the only possible combination that I could have, is an x and a 3x. Now, looking at the last term, 8, I have to think that I could either use 1 and 8 or 2 and 4. Now notice that my factors, it's no longer factors of 8 that add to be 10. Because of this 3 here, that particular technique that we used last time isn't going to work. So we're going to have to employ what we call guess and check. Now this isn't just a completely random guess. We are going to make what I would call an educated guess. We're going to limit it to just factors of our first term and our last term. So if I think about this, the factors of 2, if I'm looking at example 3, the only thing that can make up 2 is a 1 and a 2. And the only thing that can make up my last term of 5 is a 1 and a 5. So I've got a limited number of things that I need to take into consideration. I can go ahead and write my front terms. I know I'm going to have a 2x and an x, but what I've got to figure out is where does the 1 go and where does the 5 go? Does the 1 go in the front and the 5 goes in the back parentheses, or vice versa? And so I just need to check them both and see what happens. Because I'm doing this guess and check method, I'm going to recommend that you use pencil for this so that you can erase if you don't get the right answer the first time. I do know, because I have a plus sign in front of the 5 and a plus sign in front of the 11, that I am going to have positive signs for both of my factors. So I could go ahead and write those in my pen if I wanted to, but I'm going to use pencil. In this case, I'm going to show this as gray to indicate pencil, to figure out which direction to put the 5 and the 1. So if I decide to put the 5 first and then the 1, notice that multiplying 5 times x gives me 5x, multiplying 2x times 1 gives me 2x, 5x plus 2x is 7x. That's not what I want. I want 11x. So I need to try the other direction. So let's go ahead and switch spots here and put the 1 in the front parentheses and the 5 in the back parentheses. And now when I multiply, I have a 1x and a 10x. 1x plus 10x equals 11x, which is my number that I have here. So I know that that's the correct combination, and I can go ahead and box that as my final answer.